Welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Ren and I make videos a couple of times a week about books and pop culture, and today I have a book haul for you. This is a On Wye Book Haul, and me and my friend Shaz, we ever since we met have had an annual tradition of going to On Wye and going book shopping. It's just become something which I hold so dear to me. Like at the start of every year, I think no matter what else is happening, we will be taking a trip to On Wye, and I genuinely it's just so lovely, and it's a time where I get to treat myself. Like, I know going that I'm going to be purchasing a lot of books and I can give myself that little treat, and it's just really lovely. I get to kind of like zone off from everything else happening and just have a day book shopping. So for those that don't know, On Wye is a book town, so it's just full of bookshops. It was founded by Richard Booth, and it's the world's first book town, and there are second-hand books, there are new books. A shop just opened there called Gay On Wye, which honestly, why did I not think of that? Which just sells queer books, and I loved it. I could have spent hours in there. I got a couple of other things from there that weren't books that I'm going to show you as well because they're bookish. First two that I got were secondhand, and it was these hard cover City We Became and the World We Made by N.K. Jemisin. I have read this one, I have it in paperback. I have not read this one, and the reason why I bought these is because I found these in a rare book section. These were two first edition hardbacks which I knew I had to get. I think they were like something, I think they were like £8 each, which is an absolute bargain. I loved this one, and I am a hardback human, so I really liked that I could get it in hardback, and I'm very excited to read this one as well. I just love these covers so much, and I was so excited to find these. Love a rare book section, love a limited edition, love a first print. Phenomenal. I got Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and this is something which has been on my list to read for so very long. This has sprayed green edges. This is the first book. It is a 4-book series now, or I don't know if I think it's a series, but I don't know if it's a series where you could read a book out of order and it would still be okay. But there are 4 books in the collection. This is that there's a small coffee shop in Tokyo, and it's very cozy, but it allows you to travel back in time, and it is everything from there and why the people go there and the things they want to be traveling back in time for. Just like I said, it's been on my list for so long. I've been trying to read a lot more translated fiction, and this is translated from Japanese, but so many people really rate it and say that it's absolutely amazing, so I am really looking forward to finally starting it. Then I also got All the Lovers in the Night by Miko Kawakami, and this focuses on Fuko, and she is in her 30s, and she's kind of feeling a little bit like she hasn't got many people around her, and she feels a little bit like life is just kind of this repetitive, and she doesn't know what she's really doing, but then this chance encounter with this man kind of like lights something in her, and it's everything from there, and her kind of realizing what she needs and what she wants. Can she find the strength to find those things? And I am reading lots more books like this because I felt a little bit like I reached a similar slump, or and it's very weird. Like, I'm coming to the end of my 20s now, and I'm definitely sort of feeling this like societal pressure, which is silly because I know that it's just a societal thing, but it is weird, and it's a weird time to experience, or can be a weird time to experience, especially if you've had other things in your life that disrupts your existence. So yes, I am looking forward to reading this one. Again, translated fiction. I've heard loads of good things about it. And now for the Gay On Wye haul. So obviously I cannot be trusted in a queer bookshop. I will just spend a ridiculous amount of money. So the first thing I got in there is this mug that says read queer books. This is from the company Bookishly. I will link them down below. They have loads of amazing things on their website. It is taking a lot in me to not purchase their entire website, but they have a queer books section, read queer books. I think I'm going to end up getting a t-shirt, but I love this mug. It is a good size mug. I pretty much only read queer books. It was very fitting for me. They also had gay ghosts, and they were like £8, which is phenomenal. So this is my gay ghost. My gay ghost was white with rainbow paint. I love him. He doesn't have a name yet. But this is my gay ghost, and I got him from On Wye. I also from there bought this postcard to go on my wall. I am in the process of moving house, and I'm going to have a corkboard wall, and that will be going on there. Books wise, from there I got Queer by William S. Burroughs. Now, for those that have been around for a while, you'll remember that my username did used to be Ran on the Road, and On the Road came from the title of the novel On the Road by Jack Kerouac. And Jack Kerouac actually was friends with William S. Burroughs because they were both part of the Beat Generation, and the Beat Generation is an area of literature which I find really, really interesting. It had a very significant impact on literature and the way that certain things could be written about in a way that was very kind of unprecedented for the time. And I mean, I could talk about it for hours. They were also very questionable people, just as a whole, but they did do a lot for literature, and Queer is one of the Burroughs books that I've not read yet, and I don't own a copy, so I wanted to get to it this year. I wanted to read it. I haven't, out of all of the Beats, I think he is the one I've read the least amount of. Kerouac's the one I've read the most of, and then Ginsberg. But I did want to read Queer. It's been on my list for a while. I've meant to get a copy for a while, so I am looking forward to reading this. It was actually originally written in 1952, but it wasn't published until the 80s because of its discussion about homosexuality, which is a huge thing. And I mean, Allen Ginsberg was really fundamental in allowing things to be published around in the 50s, but obviously the backlash and stuff was still pretty severe, so this wasn't published until the 80s. And it is an autobiographical self-portrait of William S. Burroughs' life. Then I got Soho Noir by T.S. Hunter. I hadn't heard of this before. The cover really drew me in. And this is volumes 1 to 6. And this is 6 classic crime capers set. Oh, we've got a bookmark. That's exciting. I love a bookmark. A fantastic series of 6 classic crime capers set in 1980s London, with all the big hair, electropop, shoulder pads, police discrimination and lethal killers the era had to offer, set against a backdrop of the most important decade for LGBTQ rights in the most vibrant and dynamic part of London, with a soundtrack of pure nostalgia. So I have been trying to read more books, fiction and non-fiction, about the queer scene in London and the UK as a whole, like in the 80s and historically, because I realised I've read a lot about America and New York, but I haven't read a lot of where I'm actually from, so I feel like I need to do more of that and understand more of my queer history and the queer history of the places that I go regularly. So this is fiction, but I'm looking forward to reading a book set in the 80s in London's queer scene. And then the last book I got from On Wye, and this was the last book I got in whole of this whole haul, was a graphic novel, and that was Moonstruck. This is volume 1, Magic to Brew. I have actually read this. It was super cute. It's a cozy fantasy graphic novel series. It's very queer. It's very lovely. It was such a soft, sort of cozy read, and I really, really liked it, and I'm looking forward to getting more in the series. The graphic novel shelf is currently overflowing. I cannot wait to move house and have more space for more graphic novels, because I've been reading so many graphic novels and so many manga recently. But this was super cute. The illustrations are beautiful. I love them. I also got this bag from the stationery shop there. Isn't it beautiful? It's like a little, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a tote bag, but it's like a shopping bag, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So that was my little On Wye book haul. Have you read any of these books? What did you think about them? Are there any that you think I need to get to immediately? Any that interest you? I would love to know. Let's discuss in the comments. Also, if you are in the area, On Wye is such a lovely place to visit, and On Wye was phenomenal. I could have spent hours in there. It was so lovely. It was dog friendly, so my doggy had a lovely time running around the bookshop. And it's just such a lovely, safe space and a bookshop that I will be returning to very much. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, like I said, I make videos a couple of times a week, so if you want to come around, stick around and join us, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. I also have a bookish podcast called the Open Book Podcast. The link to that will be in the description, as well as on my other social media. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, 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 really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.